Hi. Hi.
What are some uses for Azure Spatial Anchors? There are multiple apps that you can create with Azure Spatial Anchors. A really good use case is anytime that you need to tie a specific information to a specific place. For example, if you're in a big building and if you want your users to find their way around, you can put breadcrumbs around and they can detect these spatial anchors and find their way. Another good use case is if you're in a big supermarket or a warehouse and it's really hard to know where things are, you can put specific product information to specific places. So when you're far away, you can see which way to go depending on your purpose. And these are all business use cases. For a more fun application, check out Minecraft Earth.
Yeah, hi. Let's get started with the next session about SuperWorld and Hirish. It's on you.
Hi, my name is Rish Lotlekar. I'm co-founder and CEO of SuperWorld. I'm here to talk about how we're building a virtual world that builds a better world, that enhances people's real lives and enhances the real world. We're leveraging technology like AR, VR, AI, and blockchain to help people in their real lives. It sounds ironic, but we're utilizing immersive technologies and building a virtual world that is focused on the real world. Today, I'm going to talk to you about, what are some of the challenges that we've faced in virtuality in the past and building virtual worlds, how we've overcome them with these technologies. I'm going to talk about, what is SuperWorld. I'm going to talk about what are some of the technology inflection points that make this possible now. And then I'm going to go more into the platform so you can understand what are all the different ways that the SuperWorld platform can enhance anyone's lives in terms of creating a livelihood for themselves, and also how are we working to actually improve the real world. And I'll go through many of those projects and partnerships that we have. And then finally, I'll touch on, some of the amazing people that are involved in Team SuperWorld and, how you can find us. But let me go ahead and start and talk to you about some of the things that have happened in terms of the history of virtual worlds and, some of the challenges that we faced. So first of all, in the last couple of years, as we all know, we've all gone more and more virtual. So what used to be a meeting in person has now become a Zoom call. And we're all very familiar now with doing back-to-back Zoom calls, I'm sure. But we've seen virtual worlds thrive amid and post-COVID-19. $66 billion is the gross value of people earning income from virtual platforms globally. Roblox, Fortnite, other virtual worlds have seen huge increases in their revenue and numbers of users. But the issues that traditional virtual worlds have had are being solved by Web3. So Farmville is an example of a major virtual world that was shut down last year. And all of their game assets were lost, and all the time and resources that were spent there were lost. And so the problem with traditional centralized virtual worlds is that users don't have property rights and control. Secondly, virtual worlds often lose their relevance because another virtual world will come out and people might bounce to the new virtual world and want to change or want to experience some other new kind of environment, because these virtual worlds are based on virtual settings, and sometimes people have different preferences for those settings. And then thirdly, again, and importantly, users do not benefit monetarily from all of the economics. So there's a lack of kind of an incentive there to be as involved, because you're not able to really share in what you're helping to build. Now, blockchain really solves all this, enabling in-game token assets that allows users to own, sell, and trade anywhere. In SuperWorld's case, we're mapped on top of the real world. So everything we're doing has real world relevance. And again, all of the places in the real world are in SuperWorld. So anything you do in SuperWorld will always have real world relevance, because you can access SuperWorld from anywhere. Finally, we're utilizing non-fungible tokens that provide programmability and transparency that enable owners to benefit from all of the economics that happen in SuperWorld. Blockchains are really essential for strong virtual world economies. They provide innovation, so they allow, programmability and the creation and ownership of, in our case, virtual real estate or any other assets. They give you access to integrity of your data, and you can get compensated for your data. They provide transparency. So you're not, it's a very trustless system. You get enhanced visibility into the platform, and you get greater communication that way and trust. Finally, the secure ownership rights are very important. And really this aligns with the ownership economy that's being created here. And so Web3 is really the fundamental basis for all of those benefits that occur in a decentralized virtual world. Another major inflection point that a lot of us in the XR community are aware of is that AR content creation is going exponential, and the AR cloud is coming fast. We've seen the launch of AR SDKs, from 2017 onward by all the major AR companies, and most recently Niantic that launched their AR SDK as well. We've seen active user growth on AR mobile applications across all mobile platforms from Apple to Google. And the AR cloud is really coming together as many of these incumbent technology companies are spending billions of dollars to map the real world. Apple, Google, Epic, and Unity have all built very strong AR frameworks and gaming engines that allow developers to build AR content and utilize the AR cloud. And we're really taking advantage of that at SuperWorld, and we're very proud and happy of the partnerships that we have in the marketplace that enable us to build on top of all of these platforms like we're doing. We're platform agnostic. Spatial computing is also opening the door to better and more realistic AR experiences. LiDAR technology on the latest iPhones and iPads allow the democratization of creating 3D AR content. Many Android smartphones also use time-of-flight cameras that similarly, sense depth and create a 3D map of the world. 5G has also really revolutionized the ability to get and capture data from anywhere. And so that's really speeding up the utilization of augmented reality in our daily lives. Qualcomm Snapdragon chip that came out has also enabled any hardware companies to create AR hardware and headsets. So that's really fueling the ability to be able to, again, access augmented reality in headset. I'm very excited about what's coming out soon with headsets and all the patents that have been announced from the variety of technology companies. Again, there's many different ways to access AR content now, from mobile, web, and AR glasses. At SuperWorld, we're cross-platform, and so we're open to anywhere AR can be accessed, audio, haptic suits, you name it. And we're very excited about all the hardware that's coming out. Again, SuperWorld is a virtual world mapped on top of the real world that empowers anyone to create, discover, monetize content, and own the world. SuperWorld interfaces with all aspects of our life, online and offline. And our mission is to build a better world. We are often thought of as the gateway to the metaverse because we focus on people's real lives. And so that's a really important part of how we think about what we're building at SuperWorld is how can we help people in their real lives and enhance the real world. The marketplace is an expansive creator platform. So the mobile app allows anyone to create assets and place those assets anywhere, any type of assets, 3D, 2D, audio, and create AR experiences. We have an NFT marketplace that allows you to buy and sell digital assets on our marketplace and place those geographically on the web as well. We have a virtual real estate platform. We're moving to the internet of locations, and our virtual real estate platform allows you to buy those locations and own those locations. So it's a very exciting way to be able to access and own the places that you love around the world. We've created a virtual real estate platform with 64.8 billion unique plots of land. And so again, in SuperWorld, you can buy any place on Earth and you can own it for 0.1 Ether. And that allows you to, again, own all of the economics and get a share of those economics that happen on your virtual land. And you can reprice your virtual land for any price that you want. So it is an NFT. So you can buy a location on Earth that you love for 0.1 Ether. And you can say, hey, you know what? I think, this part of Manhattan should be worth more than 0.1. 0.1 is about $400, $450 today. But again, you could say, hey, this is a valuable property, reprice it, and then others can bid on those properties as well. So we're building a very robust virtual real estate marketplace. And so again, this often serves as the gateway to the metaverse, as people can get onto Web3, create a wallet, buy real estate, and then start getting into AR and creating AR content this way too. The mobile app allows you to create content, build community, and personalize the world around you. And there's an infinite number of filters on the real world. So everyone has a filter and you're able to create content and share content anywhere. There's two main functions of SuperWorld. So the first one is, again, the real estate part of it. So you can own places in the world and share in the economics. You are a super citizen when you own real estate in SuperWorld. Number two, you can create, discover, and monetize anything on Earth. So you don't have to be an owner of real estate to create content anywhere and share it anywhere. Anyone can do that. And you can create digital assets that you can monetize as well. No virtual real estate purchase required. But if you do buy real estate, you're getting a share of what's happening in those locations from the infinite number of filters that exist there. So anyone's world, my world, your world, any of the brands' worlds, the not-for-profits, the government's world, anything is possible. Our NFT salon allows anyone to create digital assets in SuperWorld and share those assets anywhere. Our marketplace allows anyone to, again, share assets, buy assets, and discover assets that have been placed anywhere in the world. Our Star Chamber highlights artists and NFT creators that are change makers, that are building a better world, and we want to highlight them and show them off. As an example of that, Marjan Moghadam is one of the top AR, VR, NFT artists in the world. And she happens to be a SuperWorld ambassador and an artist that we really appreciate, as she's one of our artists in residence but she's doing compelling work with many of the top brands around the world. And so our Star Chamber really highlights the work of artists like her. We have upcoming artists in residence that are also very well known, and we highlight the work that they're doing in the world. Again, the Digital Sea Flint Water Festival is another way that we're highlighting a lot of the amazing work that's being done in the not-for-profit world in showcasing how SuperWorld helps communities anywhere in the world. So in this case, with the Flint Water Festival, we helped artists share their digital content, their artwork in the Flint Water Festival on the Flint River. And so people could walk around and see NFT art in augmented reality on the Flint River and be able to purchase that art in 3D in real world locations. Even if you're not physically there, you get to go and see the artwork that's left on the Flint River. So again, we're utilizing AR and VR technology, really enabling people to make social impact and understand what's happening in the world around them, regardless of where they are in the world. We're showing you an example here of some of the art that was left in the Flint River in 3D. And so again, you can visualize this art from anywhere in the world. And this is a screenshot. I'm going to show you a video of another art festival that we produced along with Metavision that took place in a park in San Diego. So again, an example of a very community organized event, and really enabled people to come together and beautify their community and share in art and raise money for a very good cause. Here's an example of another big art installation that was left in, again, another location. I think this was in Los Angeles for another cause.
I tried to do it on my phone, I couldn't get it to draw.
There you go. And this is an example of what we're doing in the Amazon rainforest. 2 weeks ago, we brought together two tribes that have been at war for 500 years to create NFT artwork in the Amazon jungle that can be accessed from anywhere, highlighting the issues that are occurring in the Amazon around reforestation and really exposing those issues for people around the world. And people could experience the art in the Amazon from anywhere in the world, and which is remarkable because they're, even in the Amazon jungle, indigenous tribes have access to AR technology on their mobile phones, really going back to the point I was making earlier about how AR technology has really hit mainstream. Again, 3.5 billion mobile phones that are AR enabled. So let's watch this video on the Amazon.
O yoshi mako ma ye o mato be ka bie ngaya ye ya la o ma ya be mato ngaya te ngaye ka.
Great. So that was an example of what we're doing in the Amazon, and I'm going to show you another visualization of that. So this was the 3D jungle with the artwork, and this AR was placed, I think, somewhere in Miami. So just showing you some of the artwork that's been sold by the tribes and was created by the tribes with the Amazon jungle surrounding. So you can enter the Amazon and experience that artwork. Here's an example of a campaign we did in partnership with the World Bank and disaster fighters and the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Service. We really brought together the different stakeholders here to help Haiti with the relief efforts with the earthquake that occurred there. We'd also previously done a project in the Caribbean with disaster fighters and the World Bank and the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Association agency to help with disaster recovery related to hurricane season. Again, highlighting how NFTs can be utilized in real world situations to enable people who want to support causes to get involved, and bringing artists there to bring a very cultural component to things that are very important in the world, and enable, countries to have artists represent them in artwork that brings awareness to some of the issues and recovery efforts and relief efforts, in this case of Haiti. And so it was very, very impactful that we were able to do this. And again, really highlighting how NFTs can really benefit real world situations. Next, here's a video of the NFT Kids magazine that was placing NFTs in the center of Manhattan in Times Square. Again, kids who are getting into NFTs were able to put their NFTs all over Manhattan and kind of showed them, what are the possibilities of NFTs. And they did this from anywhere in the world. So they weren't in Manhattan, and they shared their NFT artwork in Manhattan. Again, our goal at SuperWorld is to support, the sustainable development goals. And we're really focused on how can we impact each of them and work on initiatives till we take user activity that happens in SuperWorld and benefit the real world. And as an example of that, when you buy a plot of virtual land in SuperWorld, we'll plant a tree in the real world. We've partnered with the World Bank, as I mentioned. We've partnered with the UN and UNESCO to help rebuild Beirut. We've actually partnered with governments around the world. As an example, the nation of Barbados a couple of weeks ago announced that they're building an embassy in SuperWorld to bring government services to their citizens in the metaverse, and will serve as a gateway for anyone who wants to go from virtual world to virtual world and SuperWorld to be able to do that. So we're very excited about governments coming on board as well to help us in our mission to build a better world. Finally, I'm going to touch on, members of our team at SuperWorld who've been very impactful and have really kind of been leaders in the space. Dr. Bob Metcalf is an internet pioneer, the founder of Ethernet, creator of Metcalf's Law. He's on Team SuperWorld. Stephen Wolfram, he's one of the top AI computer scientists in the world. He's part of the team. Richard Ling is a serial entrepreneur and a venture partner and founder of Rembrandt Venture Partners. Bob Fabio is very well known in the enterprise space. Mariana Danilovic is an advisor in the entertainment space. Tobias Raschiller is very, very involved in the Web3 space. So we try to bring together a diverse advisory board. We have many, many other advisors across, technology, entertainment, social causes, education. Even the guy who created the word metaverse for the IEEE is on our board. So we're trying to bring together the top people in the space to help us in our mission to build a better world. You can find us all over the place. We've been very fortunate to get really good press attention. We've been in the New York Times. We were actually in the New York Times again yesterday for virtual real estate, but we've been fortunate to be in CNBC, NBC, CBS, Cheddar, Hustle. People really love the story of building a virtual world to build a better world. And we really appreciate your support at Team SuperWorld. So if you see any of our posts, I'd highly appreciate your support. Just share and, hashtag Team SuperWorld. We're supported by many of the top venture capital investors in the world: Draper Goren Home, Outlier Ventures, Altered Ventures, SOSV, China Accelerator, Capital Factory, Predictive Capital, Cadenza Venture Capital. We have White Paper in Switzerland and Redbeard Ventures. So we've been very, very fortunate to have really amazing supporters around the world helping us in our mission. Again, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to share our vision. I'm very accessible. So if you have ideas, if you've been inspired about the work that we're doing at SuperWorld, I highly encourage you to reach out, and I look forward to having the opportunity to share our story and help you build on SuperWorld and help join our mission at SuperWorld to build a better world. Thank you again. Bye.